Hello. We're back with this monster.
Hello, hello. Why don't you recap what you're working on?
Well, I am working on a bat vampire monster thing who is very droopy, yes. Um, he's been through a lot. He spent some time being way too cute. So I think we've fixed that mostly.
Yes, I would say yes.
I think this is the longest we've worked on any one particular thing. This is like the 7th stream for this guy. Um, and also the wife is very sleepy today, so you should bother her a lot or answer complicated questions, do maths.
I've been working really hard the last few days.
He might be related to the man bear pig.
Is he?
He could be.
So do you think he's three things spliced together? So is it like that? Okay, we can't say Batman pig because
That would be like spider pig, man bat pig.
well, I think he's managed to get rid of most of the pigliness.
Yeah. Well,
I have been cranking up.
I think I might have something else that will
It's a lot.
decrease some more pigness too.
I was gonna paint more mugs tonight, but I think I'm gonna not do that.
Yes, we have a we have a big show this weekend. So we have been very busy doing last minute things.
The music is
We should fix that.
should fix that. It's very quiet.
Yes,
Fix it.
if anybody is going to be in Toronto over the weekend, we will be at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo at the Metro Toronto Convention Center.
Yes.
That always feels backwards to me.
Why? How do you feel it should go?
Like the Toronto Metro Convention Center would make more sense, but probably because Metro is the company that sponsors it. Something.
No. That's not. That's all I've got. That's not no. The metropolis of Toronto.
Huh?
Because that thing's been around longer than the grocery store metro. And also, I think the grocery store metro is part of a bigger conglomerate, as is everything.
Yeah. I mean, everything's part of a big conglomerate, so yes. But Do you know what the cost is to actually get into that for people?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you know what the cost is to get into the show for people? I don't know how much tickets were. I vaguely.
I will look it up.
I think it was very reasonable last year.
Yeah, I don't think it costs a lot. Oh my god, I'm gonna be yawny today. I'm sorry.
As you should be. I expect you to sparkle.
I can't. No sparkle.
Sparkle, damn it.
No. No.
I can't be the only one here being bubbly and vivacious.
It would be neat to do a taxidermy.
Yeah, I suppose.
Hi, Pixels to Projects.
Pixels to Projects.
They are on YouTube.
Oh, they're on YouTube. Okay.
Yes.
Well, if they
Welcome to the stream.
If they have any questions or anything, you will have to read them to me because I can't see your chat. Pixels to Projects. But I hope you're doing well.
Cool sculpture.
Well, thank you. I am still working on him. I'm barely tired of this one. Been a very long time on this one so far, at least by my usual standards. I'm typically a fairly fast sculptor. This one had lots of edits. Where is my...
So to answer the other question, so it's 22.11 to get into the Oddities and Curiosities in advance.
Okay.
Oh, if you buy it day of, it looks like it's 27.38.
Ah.
So that's one day.
That's still
And then if you want to get
like a whole weekend pass.
nah, it doesn't look like they have weekend pass. But they have the taxidermy classes, and those are like $200.
Yes.
Pixels to Projects wants to know if that's monster clay.
It is indeed monster clay. That is my favorite sculpting clay.
So you decided you like it better than the Chavant?
I like it better than the Chavant for this particular kind of work. Chavant is great for faster sculpting. It has a feel very much like water-based clay. But it does make it a little bit harder to do smaller details. And my sculpts are on the smaller side. They're not like miniatures or anything, but they're not, masks or life-size stuff. So monster clay is just about right, consistency-wise.
So are you gonna leave him on are you gonna have like a base?
I am gonna flesh out this base a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, obviously it'd be too rough to cast right now, but it's not gonna have a lot. He doesn't have a lot of space. If we want to fit things in the kiln, they have to be at least this short to ride. We have limited space unless we want to pull everything else out of the kiln and fire taller things.
Which Which we could do.
We could, but I really don't want to.
That's fair. I mean, it's going to be a cup, so
Yes.
you don't want it to be too big.
No, I don't want it to be too big. Yeah, this is the
Why don't you show what you're drinking out of today?
the end product is a ceramic drinky cup. This one is one of our at-home ones. It's my tube neck cork sculpt, and it had a crack in it, so it's mine to drink out of, and also test to see if markers will work. And they do, but apparently they rub off and it sweats. So that's a thing.
So Pixel says, I also enjoy sculpting. Where are you guys from?
Canada, Ontario.
Get more specific. Canada, Ontario, Niagara.
Yeah, those things.
See, that's awesome.
Where's Pixels to what was it again?
Pixels to projects.
Pixels to projects. Yeah, where are they out of?
Chewy says damaged flag mugs make great house mugs. They do.
Mm-hmm.
You get to keep them. So my new little dish, even though nothing's wrong with it, I might need to keep it because I love it.
Well, you do seem to be very attached to that one.
Pixels is from Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. I have never been, but I know some people from out there. One of my friends from undergrad actually was, she did her graduate work in Loveland. As I understand, there's also an excellent sculpture supply. Oh, that may have closed. At least there was an excellent sculpture supply store in Loveland.
So have you gotten into the fiddly little tiny details stage, or?
I have started to get into some fiddly little detail stage, yes. Just getting there. So what is Pixels to Projects' preferred medium for sculpting? Fellow Monster Clay dude. You do it. My wife is making talking hand gestures at me. Should make sculpty hand gestures at you.
Like, what would that even look like? Because you're like this creepy thing.
That somehow looks like you're, I don't know, miming riding a horse or something.
A tiny horse?
Tiny horse.
Pixels does digital sculpting, but I also do lots of woodworking. I design Montessori toys by Chop.
Oh, that's cool. I have tried digital sculpting, but I have not got the hang of it.
Have you gotten the hang of digital 2D?
What?
Digital 2D drawing? As opposed to 3D drawing?
I mean, not in particular. It's like I do have a drawing program on my phone that I use for light sketching and stuff, but I don't really use too many of the tools. It's just another device that makes marks. Not a computer person in general.
No kidding. He very much is not a computer person. Computers make him angry.
It's true. Most tech does.
Yes. As Chewy says, understatement of the year.
Most tech annoys me.
That's why I'm here. Yawning again, I'm sorry.
It's not to make chatty gestures at me.
It is. It
It's
is
that too.
that.
It's also that. It can be both.
It can be both. It can and will be both. Chewy called you a Luddite.
That's fine. You can call me anything you want. I don't care.
I have like a whole list of stuff where it's like, next week I'm gonna do all of this stuff because it'll be after the big show.
Uh-huh.
Like, for example, integrating the YouTube and the Twitch chat. I should actually do that. Maybe next week.
Maybe.
Pixels also plans on streaming. Did their first one yesterday.
Oh, that's very cool. Hope they are enjoying it.
Are you just streaming on YouTube or on Twitch? No paint tonight? No, not so far, I guess.
I mean, I guess you could poker if you feel like it, but
That's okay. Pain will show up where she won't.
mm-hmm.
Gotta grab a caffeinated.
That seems fair.
Yep.
Nope, she's got Poopsie Max.
Yeah, I just grabbed a poopsie. So I have been drinking the Ogo Pogo from Deadly Girl, or not Deadly Girls, Coffin Creek Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's really good.
Do you like that one?
It's good.
What was that one supposed to taste like again?
The Nanaimo bar.
Canadian. And
I like it.
and what the hell is that for our
Oh yeah, the enamel bar is a
non-Canadian?
Canadian delicacy.
It's not the
It's
way I would have put it,
It's a
but
layer of chocolate and a layer of yellow sugary goodness. And then
that is another way to.
chocolate coconut. I don't really know what to call that layer. It's not
That
fake.
that one is a chocolate coconut crumble type.
Yeah, it's kind of like a macaroon.
A bit. Yes, it is definitely.
Diabetes and bar, definitely.
It's the fastest way to speed run diabetes.
So Pixels is streaming on YouTube.
YouTube is cool. I've seen a couple of people start with YouTube.
Yeah.
It
Honestly,
might
I'm not sure why. Part of me is like, we should have started on YouTube. I don't
Almost
know why
a-
we went with Twitch.
I don't know.
Be
It seemed
cool gamer type people.
well. It
but
seemed
we're
like
not.
it was an easier infrastructure. I don't know. It has more tools or something.
Okay, so according to Chewy, the enamel bar consists of 3 layers: a wafer, nut, and coconut crumb base, custard
Wafer.
icing in the middle, and then a layer of chocolate ganache.
I feel like, with the exception of a layer of chocolate ganache, that lies right all the way down.
What do you mean? Wafer, nut, and cocoa
I-
crumb?
I have not experienced any wafer in one of these things. Nor nuts besides the cocoa variety.
No, you're right.
And custard is not. It's custard colored.
It says custard icing. Yeah, it's basically icing, but
It-
yellow.
Yeah, it is. It is a virulent yellow.
I think it's
And it is the most sugar you can possibly put into.
Chewy thinks it's just regional variants for the crust.
Might
That's
be.
possible. Kind of like butter tart. Butter tarts are also speedrunning.
Are the second most sugar you can jam into a single unit of space.
Yes.
Watch butter tarts be somehow like more high calorie.
It's pie crust.
Yeah, it's pie crust, which
with
is
liquefied sugar in it. Pixel says, I wouldn't call myself a streamer yet, just pondering the idea of I think a community that watches and helps me design sounds fun.
yeah, that could be fun. We've
Do you enjoy it? Are you enjoying this process? You've
Sure.
been doing this for like,
sure why not?
what, like 2-3 months now?
Something like that. Something like that. I mean, it's much better now that we've got most of the technical headaches worked out.
Well, yeah, we got to a stable point where everything mostly functions.
Mm-hmm. The camera is cameraing. The sound isn't too bad.
Yep. Now it's just tweaking.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind at all. I have been sculpting and painting and doing stuff for so long that really an audience doesn't bother me the way it does some people, and it is fun to chat occasionally. We haven't had what I would call a big audience yet.
No. Just when we got rated.
This is true. Which is I believe that is a Twitch specific thing. I don't know if that happens on YouTube.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I do think the YouTube craft streaming like environment is more typical. Maybe you see a lot of like maybe not as much live, but you do see more craft content, crafting and
yeah,
making
totally.
and stuff content on YouTube.
Well, Twitch is
Twitch is
mostly game.
yeah, it's game derived, but not all of it. Vicky streams on Twitch.
Yeah. We're gonna do.
Yes, we've also been considering like a Discord server for making it easier for people to share stuff that they make.
Again, I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of this stuff will be more more of an issue when and if we have more of an audience,
Yes.
and also it'll probably be a little easier to motivate in that instance too.
Pixels wants to know if we have any kids.
No. Mm-mm.
It's the furry cat kind.
Nope. We are living that child-free lifestyle.
Roommates. Do roommates count?
I mean,
Sometimes.
damn, this is starting to look relatively interesting in spots. Gonna be time to start in on some crazy extra wrinkles in a minute.
The sculpt already looks so good. What else are you going to do to it?
Well, it needs a lot of finishing work. Reasonably at peace with the major forms now. but it needs generally more action going on in the wrinkles, and I will obviously need finished texture, and I think,
And the base?
well, the base is going to need fixing for casting, but that's just,
So it almost looks like you have a chalice, kind of.
yeah, it's got a kind of a chalicey vibe to it, which I like. Like, I find that this style holds nicely for me. It's got a little narrower, sort of waisty section. And I kind of like the, I guess, statuary sort of treatment. A little bit of a busty kind of.
Oh, he's busted.
It's not, you know, busty. Those are tiny. Exquisite rare miniatures, those. Yeah, no, I like the general overall form, but it needs a lot of like more specificity added for the skin texture to get it to look like it's hanging, and I think I may do some more work on the expression in the eye area. As well. He also needs, I think, some more attention to these ears too. And then at some point after the stream, because I have to do plaster molds.
So this has to go feed their daughter.
Ah,
They've subscribed though.
that's cool.
Cool.
Well, thanks for dropping in, Pixels. I hope you had fun, and maybe we will see you later.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I need to do some more work on these ears. I'm gonna need to do after I've got this sculpted enough to consider it mostly done. I'm gonna have to look it over and see what I have to do for molding's sake. Molding and maybe a little bit just making sure it makes an okay cup. If I decide that it's going to be a cup. Recycled clay.
Okay.
It's always an option. Failure is always an option.
All right.
Yeah, I think this one's kind of fun. At some point, I may experiment with some like resin busts or something like that. If it gets to the point where that might make more sense with design. Maybe have a chat with Steve about doing the molding process at his shop.
Attention span of a gnat.
Yes, we know this. Okay.
Oh,
Can't keep track. Can't keep track of what you're doing and do the stream.
no.
So Twitch affiliates only need to have many average viewers as we have. That seems crazy.
Huh?
It seems crazy that you can get to be a Twitch affiliate with only as many usual viewers as we have.
Well, I think it. Have you been affiliates? It's pretty low.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Or do you have to like pay or something?
Well, that's when like.
Oh, it's when ads and stuff start. Get a sponsorship deal with Manscaped. Talk about this guy's nutsack. That would make sense, right? I sculpt enough nutsacky things.
You do?
I've seen people advertising for Manscaped that have less to do with genitalia than my usual work. I wonder if there's a point that they make you be an affiliate on Twitch.
Huh?
I wonder if there comes a point where they make you be an affiliate. Like,
Not as far as I know.
well, that's good. Again, I suppose if there's no way for them to monetize a channel, they probably don't make it any easier to find than they have to. Did I show you the guy that I was working on for O&C?
You do not?
hope that stays on camera. It looks like it barely does. Goblin Man.
I was gonna say. That's cute.
Yes, he can be cute.
Into the world of D&D, are we?
I suppose.
That's fun.
I'm not gonna lie, it's partially just because I found that audio that I want to use before I forget about it.
Okay. That's a good reason.
I mean, I barely have reasons for almost anything that I do. Get some more crazy muscles in this back. Oh, you don't have the headphones in.
What?
Oh, you do have one?
Why?
I'm just wondering how much all that picks up.
Oh, I can't. I don't have a monitor.
Oh,
Because
because it would do the thing. I'm not sculpting.
I can have the monitor on and
Ah, it's fair. Get in here and subdivide some of these shapes out more.
What?
Just gonna get in here and subdivide some of these shapes out a bit more. Add some visual interest. You ever finish watching that Lord of the Rings Amazon show?
I believe so, yes.
They have good orc designs in that one.
Yep.
I'm looking at a couple of those when I was conceptualizing my goblin. I wonder if they had the Weta Workshop people doing their stuff they did for the movies. Kind of didn't look like the same hand to me, though. Not that it's, you know, just one person or anything, but But what about our best viewers?
No.
And it's an inaccurate chemise.
Chemise?
An inaccurate chemise. I don't know why you're always so quick to judge people who have the best viewers. I mean, sure, I'd rather attract our own viewers, but it doesn't seem like a reason to go blocking people just because they have access to the very best viewers.
So I need to add to my shopping list.
What's that?
How to properly chat.
How to properly mod it?
Yeah. Well, because remember last stream I was trying to figure out how to delete my message, and then I came to the conclusion that I cannot do that. So it occurred to me that I still don't know how to delete a message, any message, other than straight up blocking someone. Which there's got to be a way to do that, I would think. But I still don't know how to do that.
Do you need like special mod access or something, even though it's your stream?
I have mod access.
You have mod access.
Yeah. Yeah. A mod is me.
Well, yeah, but
Though I did figure out how to turn on whispers,
which
I believe is their quirky way of
that's like
calling direct messages.
Direct message. Squeeze me. So you managed to turn on the direct messenger.
Yeah.
Suppose if there's a direct messenger option, only a matter of time before the hot singles in our area find us. Seems to be the way of it. Real sort of pioneers of the space, the hot singles in your area. Always seem to find it before anyone else.
Cheers.
It is squeaky. I was also wondering if the piston was starting to leak.
What? Why it's so low?
Yes.
No, it's because if I put it this low, arms here.
Yes. Yeah, I worked it out when I saw you lower it.
Pixels is back.
Hmm?
How long have you been sculpting?
Pretty long time. I've been doing this specific kind of sculpting for couple of years now, but sculpture was one of my concentrations in undergraduate. So 2003 I graduated undergrad, I think. Long time. I was sculpting before that too, but that's when I started doing bronze cast and that sort of thing. It has been forever. So, question, Pixels, what precisely makes something a Montessori toy? I'm vaguely familiar with the concept and that it's sort of an educational system, but I don't really know any of the specifics.
Simple and purposeful, made with natural materials and designed to fit into the Montessori curriculum, I guess.
Hmm. Made with natural materials. Don't normally have any real issues with things being too asymmetrical, but I think this one's been adjusted so many times. Some of the some more asymmetry than I like has started to creep in. I'm having to go back and do some fixes.
Is the asymmetry bothering you?
Just a little bit in spots. Like the eye shape on this side was not following the same. It sort of had a hard downturn that I wasn't loving.
What's the coolest thing you've ever made?
The coolest thing I've ever made? It's a good question. I don't know. I know I tend to be really focused on what I'm currently making. So I
Do you
kind
have a favorite monster?
that I've made?
Yes.
Kind of fond of the Cyclops.
The new one? Yeah.
But that's just the last thing that I finished, so
Why don't you show the shots?
I can bust
Show
out the
the
Cyclops.
He is adorable.
I don't know if I have a favorite thing I've made. But I think this one's going to be fun once it's finished. It has good texture, which pleases me. And those teeth are going to be a bugger to mold, but but I think it'll work. Yeah, I'm reasonably pleased with this one right now.
Yeah, that one turned out really good.
I don't know, Pi, do you have a favorite of the monsters? Because
Well, you know that I am partial to Count.
You're a Count Orlac stan. I have a good Count Orlac that I didn't know somewhere.
But I like your Mr. Burns.
What, Mr.
Yeah.
Burns?
Yeah.
I still need to finish Mr. Burns.
He's pretty great.
He's okay. He's got some.
Pixels thinks your Cyclops is freaking cool.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this is my vampire Mr. Burns.
I love it.
I started it as a demo sculpt at Frightmare in the falls last year.
Chewie says, yes, Mr. Burns.
So yeah, he needs to be fixed. The last thing I did on him, you know, this might be why I'm never getting these sculptures done. It's going to tell time all the time.
Battery.
Smile Turtle seems to get trotted out. Greek
It's
every other
hilarious.
stream. Okay, should we show the regular turtle first?
Sure.
This might make more contextual sense.
Mr. Sunburns.
So I made a sort of,
Speaking of which, TJ Carvis wants us my flip.
yes, I made a Ninja Turtle inspired mug. I think I finished making these mugs around January of this year, and then when I pulled the clay back out of the mold, because I usually am able to preserve my sculpt fairly well, I did a little touch-up sculpt for giggles. And they've been having... I don't think I'm ever going to mold this one.
Smile turtle forever.
But I feel like if I melted it down, there would be a riot. So
Ninja Turtle. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think, I mean, it's funny, but it's not that funny.
It's funny.
Reasonably funny, but it's not.
Chewy says mold it.
Maybe if I sell all the rest of the Ninja Turtles.
You know what we should do? We should like do a Kickstarter.
I don't want to do a Kickstarter.
Hey.
I really don't want to do a Kickstarter.
Why?
Because if I do a Kickstarter,
Yes.
and if anything goes funky, then I have a whole bunch of people that would be disappointed. And we don't want that.
Well, but
I mean, molds break down.
yeah.
The kiln could go wacky. All sorts of stuff could delay things a lot. That's why I don't like to do like pre-order type stuff. I like to have, if I tell someone that they're going to have a thing, not any that I know of.
That one did.
Yeah, that one did. Kappa have teeth.
So if you just say it's a kappa instead of a turtle,
I could say it's
okay.
I could say that. I mean, I'm okay with, if I'm okay with whatever this is, teeth on a turtle is sort of not, that's not the weirdest thing I've done. Like, at any given time, that's probably not the weirdest thing I've done that month. I get up to some unusual things with my sculpting.
Yes.
But yeah, there's only so much time to make things in. So I do have to be somewhat mindful of what I make.
Do you have to be very mindful?
No, I don't have to be very mindful, just a little bit. So it has to make some amount of economic sense to mold it, start production and everything. Can't just do exactly whatever I want. Which is probably for the best, because if I could do just exactly what I wanted, I would probably just make these things, and then the vast majority of the time they just get thrown back in the crock pot. And I'd just sculpt up a new thing. Or they get stowed on a shelf somewhere. because I don't tend to. I don't know. I don't get attached to my work. I'm attached to the process, but once I'm done with it, I kind of have a tendency to forget I even did it. Well, what was it, last year or the year before or something? I ended up doing something like 16 different.
Yeah, well, we just lost track of how many you've done.
Yeah, but I wasn't even close in my estimate. Like, forgot about half the stuff that I did.
Not too.
No. No, I know from my experience as when I was teaching, that wasn't uncommon with like some of the other, when I wasn't a full teacher. I was a graduate assistant, so I was teaching a couple of classes while I was in my graduate program, and a lot of my classmates that were in graduate school were kind of the same way. They didn't have like a lot of attachment to a lot of their programs. A lot of their work. There were a couple of them that kind of did, kind of like saved stuff and things, but yeah, you do. No, for the most part, not that much. I do remember the assignment that I gave for students when we were doing figure drawing, where I had them do a drawing for like a 20-minute pose or something like that, and then I sent the model on a break and had them erase their drawings so that they could see that little sort of ghost of an image left, and then we were going to redraw over it to help you see the editing process involved in making artwork. And some of them had a real tough time undoing the work that they'd done over 20 minutes. Got real attached to stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see the out with that.
Does not compute. Yeah, I had a couple of students that had all of their stuff by the end of the semester. Like they'd collected it all and saved it all up in some kind of a portfolio type thing. I don't think I've ever done that.
I think I still have some of my college stuff upstairs.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose I technically have some.
My Zebaphrodite.
Okay. I mean, I might technically have some of my college stuff, but I wouldn't have any idea what or where or anything. I know I had a bunch of figure drawings somewhere in case I needed them, but not retained where that is. I would imagine they're pretty wrecked by now anyway.
Actually, I just tossed, I had a digital portfolio type thing that we made in
Digital.
our like one of our graphic arts programs. I just found it like not even a month ago and tossed it.
Was it like a physical copy of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was printed out.
Oh, it was printed out.
What's your major?
What's my major?
Pixels.
I was a painter in graduate school. And in undergraduate, I had a double concentration in sculpture and painting. I used to do oil paintings. Was my job. Mostly portraits and still lifes, that kind of thing. Landscapes too. Mostly portraits and still lifes.
Monsters are way cooler.
Monsters are interesting. I didn't mind painting. Till
your pattern recognition got fucked up.
Pattern recognition.
You said you used to have trouble with like grapes and stuff.
Oh. Yeah, I never fully pinned down what that was, but I have some suspicion it's to do with the same thing that causes the dyslexia.
Something that causes the dyslexia.
Well, dyslexia is just basically an ordering problem.
Mm-hmm.
You have difficulty like organizing information sometimes. Or a difference in organizing information anyway.
Okay.
So the same reason why numbers and things in a grid or the proper letters in the right order to make a word spelled properly your brain doesn't prioritize that information in the same way that other people's does sometimes.
Pixel says that they were told as a child they had just
It's not that uncommon, I don't think. When I was in school in the mid-80s, it was definitely a less crude science than like when my dad was in school. They did not recognize things like learning differences.
Left-handedness?
I don't think they gave him any crap about the left-handedness in particular. But I doubt they made any accommodations for it either.
Pixel says, I tried to make a joke, it flopped.
You must have missed a step.
Oh. No, that was my fault.
Oh.
I'm the one who's reading these out loud. I'm the one who just wasn't even.
Oh, is it a spelling type?
It is a spelling thing. Yes. I was told as a child that I had dyslexia.
Yeah, that's the irony of those jokes
Well,
being
that and I'm
entirely
like,
lost
I don't
on
want to
me.
correct it because if you did have dyslexia, then now I'm correcting your dyslexia, which you're telling me that you
Nope,
have.
that is a thing. There's a certain irony to the fact that those jokes are entirely lost on on, on me. Because I will almost never catch a spelling mistake. I think about the funniest dyslexia thing that I've had happen was the playing the first Diablo game with a friend of mine. And the first magic drop item was the staff of dyslexia.
How did it know?
Yeah. Well, the best part was it was a staff with like extra, like it had a big damage bonus, but it nerfed your intelligence, which that's that's not that's not nice.
That's not nice.
I can't fully argue it, but I feel that there's a nicer way of saying that. Yeah, it's a thing. It only occasionally is a hassle now. Mm. Yeah. I think sculpting and painting are pretty similar kinds of skills. At least the way I sculpt. Well, it's a visual graphic-y type thing, but it's also um, you know, you're modulating forms so that they have the appropriate kind of mass and communicate the weight and the texture and sort of it's a way of visually communicating physical properties. Now I think I do have a decision to make.
What's that?
I've been considering giving this guy some like kind of mangy, lanky hair.
Yeah.
Kind of like not all over his head, sort of like a little balding kind of thing. Maybe a little bit of widow's peakiness. But like,
Pixel says I could never translate my sculpting to drawing. It's hard for me to understand lighting. Space. I have a hard time with 3D.
I don't know. I haven't seen you try 3D much.
I think there's a reason for that.
I don't know. Is there a? Do you have an online type? Like, do you have an Instagram account or anything like that? Pixels, so we can like see your work. Like, what's
I
going on?
want to see.
Oh. We're visual learners.
We are.
I mean, only if you like sharing, obviously.
I won't share in the chat without asking first.
Yes, we're still relatively new to the whole streaming thing, so we're learning the finer points of the etiquette as well. Not sure if the hair is like an integral idea type thing, or if I just like the idea of really thin, like lanky, grody hair on these kind of monsters, you know? What do you think?
I think it could look cool.
You think some hair could look cool? Not directly sticking with the idea of a bald king. I think it was oh, I forget the name of the movie. I think it was Hemoglobin. It's a old, I want to say mid-early 90s movie about these like subterranean mutant, like vampiric, naked mole ratty kind of bat critters. I want to say it was very, very, very loosely based on like the Lovecraft what was that called? It's not the Shunned House. I forget the name of the specific story, but there was a family that had like weird ghoul ancestry. It's not Pickman's model either.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, there was a house, like a abandoned
caves.
Yeah, like caves underneath an old abandoned castle type family home.
Give him the 3 Homer. The 3.
Homer's 3 hairs.
Yeah. Pixel says, I think I have a short of my daughter's crib I made.
The Homer hair. The Homer hairs are really hard to do on.
3 lines.
It's not 3 lines because it's 3 lines that float above
I
the head.
understand.
I tried that on my Quidgy beat like that. Getting the Homer hair was a whole thing. I don't know if I have it. I don't think I have any. I have a mold for the Quidgy bow. I only made the one. Here's the worst thing about this sculpture. At some point during the finishing process or the molding process, or maybe even like ages after, gotta figure out what the hell this reminds me of. And it's gonna be something really weird. Like extremely tangential, not even looks anything like this.
Well, you already know that.
You may...
No, that has lessons.
There's the... I don't know what those Muppets are called. The ones that go meet. It's also got
Yep.
Yeah. Not troll. There was a monster type.
Chewie says it's not. Oh god, Chewie's been listening.
Oh, on YouTube?
No. There's a Muppet with a mouth like like a foot that peels up from the face. Monster technique.
Foot that peels up from the face. I might not be familiar with this one. I'm gonna presume that's flap. Possibly. I mean, it does look. There's something in the mouth that looks very slightly like the.
She's gonna hunt. It is flap, yes.
The mutated troll from Willow. Willow hit it with some kind of a magic nut. Willow magic nutted on the troll, and then it got all huge and multi-headed.
Oh, that thing.
Oh, that thing.
No.
Well, in that it's got the kind of teeth that stick out and the lips are drawn back. If I remember right. Also neck waddle pouchiness. But yes, magic nut is often the takeaway.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one of the downsides with having a different kind of visual memory, and also a lot of crazy influences from the crazy stuff that we saw in, in children in the 80s and 90s. Gotta say, the lanky hairness is kind of making me think of a specific actor. What's his name? He's been in he was in one of the Tarantino movies. I want to say Forsyth. What's the last name? William Forsythe. I don't know why. Maybe it's just sort of an eyebrow shape and the fact that he tends to slick his hair back. What do you think, Clay? Any family resemblance to the eye region?
Yeah, I mean, he does have a very angular, like, sharp.
Yeah. Strong occipital ridge. Now, what are you up to? Are you keeping an eye on YouTube at all? From the chair.
Creaky.
Oh. At least it's comfy-ish, right? Hmm. I'm not sure how I feel about the hair. Needs more work, but what do you think?
I like it.
Yeah, I think the hair is adding.
I do.
Yeah. Quality over quantity.
You know it.
I think the weird vampire thing from Night Flyer had kind of funky thin hair too. As I think of it. It was one of the vague early references for this guy. Now, what are you throwing around over there? What is my...
The Christmas Comic-Con is the same weekend as Bunker Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Jingle Bell Rock.
Yes. Well, that's not gonna happen then, is it?
But that means we won't get to see Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin Sorbo.
Yes. Kevin Sorbo is going to be there. Which I say, ew, gross.
Uh-huh. Do we?
How do you feel about where you're at?
I mean, or in terms of like, how do I feel it's going now? Fine. In terms of should it should it have taken this long to get to here? Probably not. But that's fine. That's not. It's not a wraith.
No.
Yeah, it's gonna need. It's gonna need some more tinkering, obviously. But I do think that the skin texture is going to go a long way on this one.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is going to do a fair amount of heavy lifting when it comes to how this sculpt actually reads. If I can get that, if I can get the skin texture to read right, I think it'll be pretty good. If I can't, then it will be not as good. Yeah, he's a very textury guy, I think. I'm still kind of concerned about some of these neck meats not quite hanging properly, but we will see. So I've got some whole new selection of ball styluses too I can test out and play with for adding my different skin textures. Including, I don't think I've ever seen one like this before, but it's like a football shaped.
No.
Yeah. Not sure if that's intentional or but it's a good size.
It was purchased on Temu, so who knows?
You know, overall, I think, at least for sculpting tools and things like that, their products are all right.
Well, I don't know. It's texture.
Okay, those texture roller thingies are a little
pretty ridiculous.
But I think a lot of this kind of thing, like this is probably made very similarly to the way any of the more name brand, the ones you would pick up from a lot of places would be. Because unless you're getting into like really nice handwork stuff like this, yeah, these that Nolan made, monster. What is?
Old Monstrosity Shop.
Yeah, Old Monstrosity Shop. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that name for a second. But I mean, these are a different class entirely of object.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, your standard Kempers that are good enough really aren't much better. Maybe you have a different coat of varnish and some gold letters, but or silver letters. It is. Okay. Well, thanks for dropping in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Pick up making more monster possibly Thursday, but very likely not. We already canceled that one. Okay. Yes, we will be. We will be away on Thursday as we have to pack stuff for the show on. Oh, we have to. Yes, it's this weekend.
We'll be back next Tuesday.
We'll be back next Tuesday. So yeah.
Pixel says, "See you guys."
Yes.
Later.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. Yes. Night, everybody.